Hey, it's Rob from Wheelworks Bike Shop in Dublin. Today we've got a Checkpoint SLR to run through with you. Um, this is a custom Project One paint job. It's one of the icon paint schemes from Project One. It's called TieDye. As you can see, it's got a sort of a hippie tie-dye effect to it. This is a Checkpoint SLR. The SLR is the top of the range of the checkpoints, and the SLR geometry is slightly different to the SL, slightly longer, a little bit lower, a little bit racier geometry. The checkpoint is Trek's gravel range. You've got some cool features. You've got internal frame storage, so the door pops off the frame. Your mini tool sits in here. Your bottle cage still mounts on top, and then inside in the frame, you've got a tool wrap for carrying your spare tubes, tire levers, CO2 all goes in there, and you store that inside the frame. The door goes on and locks in place. Your bottle cage goes onto that. The checkpoint's pretty cool from a storage point of view. You've got tons of storage options. So you've got bosses, you got mounts on the top tube here for a food bag. You got lots of mounts here and under the top tube down here for frame bags, for extra bottle cages, bottle cage on the down tube. You've got more mounts underneath for another bottle cage. We've got mounts on the forks, so you can run full length mud guards on it. You've got a bridge on the back again, so you'll take full length mud guards on the back. They have frame armor on the bottom of the frame down here, that if you're kicking up stones or grit or whatever from riding gravel, your frame's going to be protected. The Project One bikes are all individually painted, hand painted in the Project One facility in the US, and this one we get a lot of them signed when we're getting them done. This one's signed by an artist called Michelle. That's Michelle's signature. She does a few. She's done a few of the bikes that we've had in. We've built this one with SRAM Force Explorer. It's a new Force. You've got the Explorer cassette on it, which is the big wide ratio cassette. So you've got huge big cogs on the back, really wide range of gears, 1x setup, so a 40-tooth chainring on the front, carbon cranks on Force, and the new derailleur with those new sort of rainbow prismatic decals on it. We went tan wall tyres, always a divisive sort of choice. People either love them or hate them. It's built with Bontrager Aeolus Pro 3V wheels. So the Pro 3V is the wider version of the 35-37mm wheel that Bontrager do. The V standing for volume. We've gone 45mm tyres. It's the GR1 team issue tyre, and they come in 40mm tyres. They come in two different tread patterns. The GR1 is the lower tread pattern, and the GR2 has slightly bigger blocks with more spacing for slightly muddier conditions. You have a carbon seat mast, and your seat tube is mounted on what's called an ISO speed here. And the idea with that is the seat tube is separate to the frame. It's mounted on a bearing system that allows it to flex to make it more comfortable. It's got a Bontrager saddle. This is the Verse, the short saddle. They do a Verse long saddle and a short. This is the short version of it. It's more suited to a slightly more aggressive position where your pelvis is rotated over and you're on the racier setup. It's the Elite version. It's the mid-range. So there's a Comp is the entry level, the Elite is the mid-range, and then the Pro is the one with the carbon rails and the carbon shell. It's got a Bontrager ISO core handlebar. This is just packing that comes off when you're getting it. It doesn't have big white labels all over it, but the ISO core is it's like a filament that they run through the carbon bar, like a rubber filament to absorb the vibration to make it more comfortable. It's got a Bontrager blender stem, which will take the mounts go directly into the stem here for your Garmin or your Wahoo computer and your lights, so it's all neatly integrated. And the Verse saddle has two mounting points underneath here that we can put a little light mount out the back, so that if you have a saddlebag, if you wanted to carry extra spares, not just what's in there, your light mounts out behind your saddlebag, so it's a nice neat system. So that's it. checkpoint. It's an SLR7 eTap, and it's done in the Project 1 Icon TieDye.